right, so furry YouTubers, love them, hate them, don't have an opinion? Well, regardless, here are some of my very favorite furry YouTubers who are currently killing it on the channel, doing a really great job and producing really excellent content that really the whole community, furry or not, can genuinely enjoy. All right, let's kick it off with our first one now. So it'd be really, really hard to talk about furry YouTubers without at least mentioning Majira Strawberry. Majira has a really cool mix of skits, Q&As, and general content that's really great, informational, and really, really well produced. Now, no matter how you feel about Majira's suit, Majira as a person, or just in general about red fursuits, Majira's content is pretty well produced and really nicely edited. You cannot deny that it has some really slick work in there. Their topics are pretty approachable, so even if you're not a furry, it's not that hard to jump onto their channel and enjoy their content. Something I like personally is there's a really good diverse mix of content that'll really keep you entertained no matter if you just subscribed or have been subscribed for a really long time. As someone that's just starting on YouTube in fursuit, I really appreciate having a good frame of reference for what a really good channel looks like. ZABU the SERGAL has some pretty cool content both for furries and non-furries, utilizing a range of Q&As, how-tos, informational content, and just some general knowledge about the fursuit community. He's a great resource for both non-furs, new furs, and old furs to enjoy. ZABU the SERGAL is one furry YouTuber that I didn't really check out much of until I started seeing their videos come up as recommended again and again and again. And now that I've started checking them out, they have some really well done stuff. Their intros are usually pretty slick. Their camera work's usually pretty slick. Their fursuit's pretty cool, actually. I usually don't like SERGALs, but I like ZABU's suit. And I do like some of the topics that are brought to the table. They're very interesting, very informational, and generally make you think. There's some great educational material in there for non-furs. There's some great talking points to people who are furs. It's a very inclusive channel. So even if you're not furry, you can find something on that channel that you will genuinely like. And that's what I really like about his channel. Not much critique here. Just please keep making more videos because I love watching them. Hailing from Australia, Pocari has some really interesting content, usually involving vlogs, Q&As, and just general content that's really interesting, informational, and well-produced for the furry community, also giving a great insight onto the Australian fursuit community. I think it would be a huge miss not to call out Pocari as one of my favorite all-time furry YouTubers. I'm currently in the process of trying to send them a care package, but USPS is kind of a dick, so it hasn't gotten there yet. But some of their content is genuinely informational, both for furries and for non-furries. You can show some of the really good informational bits on what to do with fursuiters and what not to do. You can also learn a few things about, specifics in the community if you're brand new or if you're just jumping back in after a hiatus. Their content's really well put together. Their actual lighting and setup is incredible. I am super jealous. And their suit itself is actually adorable, and you can hear them very clearly through it. So they've clearly gone through a lot of trouble to really edit their sound correctly and really shoot it professionally as hell. Now, this Australian-based fursuiter is really, really fun to watch because in addition to learning stuff about the community at large, you also get to learn a few things about the Australian fursuit community, something I didn't really know much about. So 2 thumbs up for Pocari. They are one of my absolute favorites of all time on YouTube, and please never stop what you're doing, Pocari. You are wonderful. CAMO ROVAK has some really cool content between furry reacts, talks with other YouTubers about furry topics, and general skits and misadventures. His channel is very approachable, even for non-furries. Now, the way I found CAMO ROVAK was actually by seeing the furry react videos, something that I've really seen before. You've seen react videos, you've seen furry content, but you've never really seen them melded together. Something I can really appreciate is, how much time and effort has clearly gone into each of these videos. They're very well edited. They use really cool members of the community in thoughtful and, very interesting ways. And there's also some great skits in there that are genuinely funny. There's great discussions with other YouTubers, both furry and not. So even if you're not a member of the fursuit community, you can actually appreciate a lot of the content that comes out of his channel. And it's genuinely cool to see some non-furries highlighted. When he did the Gnoggin thing, I don't know if I said that right. Gnoggin? Gnoggin? I don't know. When they actually had that discussion about his video on furries, I found it genuinely interesting and went and looked at the original video. He calls out some really great people in the community that you can start following and learning more from. And it's a great channel overall. I have no critique on it whatsoever. I just wish he'd make more videos. That's it, really. Although newer to the YouTube scene in Suit, Leone has been doing a lot of content for other great channels like Channel Awesome and some other ones I might have missed. They have a more general furry topic that they cover. Even though they're newer, I'm really excited to see what they put out in and out of Suit. Now, Leone's a tricky one. I actually have been watching some of Leone's content on other channels like Channel Awesome, where Leone makes guest appearances. But it's really great to see that they have their own channel now, and I'm so excited to see what they bring to the table, because in person, if you've never met Leone, Leone is a tour de force of personality. Leone's genuinely fun to be around, so I cannot wait to see what comes on this channel, both in and out of Suit. It's probably going to be really funny. It's probably going to have some great scripting based on, the way that Leone's been featured in other videos from other YouTubers, and I cannot wait to see what comes next with this YouTuber. I'm so stoked. While Blue may be considered a little bit more edgy in the furry community, his videos are really, really well produced, and even if you find it a little bit offensive, you can't deny that they're very well done, thoughtfully orchestrated, and generally very entertaining. Alright, so one of the furry YouTubers I did discover from ROVAK's channel was Blue the Dragon. Now, while this furry YouTuber has had a bit of an edgy effect on the community, I think his videos are actually really spot on. They're a little cynical, they're a little in your face, they're edited pretty well, and while the lighting does occasionally hurt my eyes a little bit, I do think what he has to say is very important and very interesting. He brings it to you in a way that's funny, a little edgy, and a little in your face, but I think it works. His delivery is really great, and his camera presence is incredibly good for someone that looks like he's usually just filming out of his room on a camera. It's really well done. It's really cool to see his life outside of the furry community, when he did Barnum and Bailey, and it's genuinely cool to get his perspective, and his skits are pretty funny. It looks like he's just kind of ventured into skit territory, but it's pretty good. Do I find some of his older videos a little hard to watch? Yeah, but he's preaching to the choir. He's telling the truth on that one, so I can appreciate the honesty there, and from the genuine place that those videos came from, even if some made a couple people a little bit mad. Now, admittedly, I hadn't actually discovered Rainy Chaos until the whole rising YouTuber debacle happened. While I do think it was pretty unfair of some of the users to really come after Rainy for some of her content just because YouTube decided to give them a bump, I do think the content that Rainy produces is really interesting and really, really well done for someone of their age. That is some high quality content coming out of a very young and very talented YouTuber, which leads me to believe that rising YouTuber was definitely very much deserved. So Rainy Chaos. I actually did not know a thing about Rainy until the rising YouTuber debacle that happened with pretty nasty results. And I think that's a huge shame, because if you actually look at the videos that are produced on that channel and just take off the furry goggles for a hot second, they're really well done for someone of that age. Rainy, from what I can tell, is pretty young. So to have that good of picture quality, scripting, pacing, audio work, it's pretty commendable. I mean, they look very, very young. And I mean, I'm old and I'm just starting, and I know my quality is not nearly to that level yet. But it's really, really great to see a rising star in the community that is furry and that does make great content. So I'll just be waiting for more great content. You can do it, Rainy. So, did I forget anyone that you really like? Leave it in the comments below. I would love to check out more really great furry YouTubers, but these are some of my favorites. Let me know who are your favorites, and I would love to check them out, and I'll give them a subscribe and, see what I think. But, yeah, toodles.